It's Opinionated. And welcome back to episode 12 of our podcast.
Yay!
Woo! And it has been a hot minute. Lives have been busy and whatnot. And
lives have been lost.
Lives have been lost, yeah, 100%. Well, in these last couple of weeks, it feels like my life has been lost in many ways. But I'm enough about dramatics. But yeah, there's not any particular topic we're going to talk about. If anything, we're just going to be talking about what's been happening while we've been away and stuff.
Bit of a catch up here.
Yeah. So anything specific, but we're going to do what we do best, is chatting shit.
Just going to have a chat about stuff.
So, obviously, we already know what we've been doing with our lives to a certain extent, but simply, why don't you tell the lovely people what you've been up to?
I got my injection finally, my first one anyway, so that's a thing. So I'm sort of vaccinated. I can't remember what the exact percentage is, but I know it's like I've got to get my second one in August. So that was a whole experience. Because obviously our age gap has only very recently just been able to have the injections. I think you said you've booked yours, haven't you? Or you're trying to book yours.
Correct.
But mine was a right day out. It's great. So it's only meant to be a 5-minute appointment. But for whatever reason, my body just hates injections or having blood taken or whatever. So I already knew going there. I was mentally preparing myself, and I think that made it 10 times worse. So I get there to this zombie films, how you go to when they've got quarantine stations, and it's this massive open thing inside of a center, and it just looks very sterile. It was like that. Obviously, it's because you're having injections. It's going to be, but the whole atmosphere was just very weird.
With there's white corridors and people in hazmat suits.
Yeah, well, maybe not the hazmat suits, but yeah, the white corridor. It was the pop up rooms that they can have. It was just tons of those connected to each other with little hospital bays inside of it, kind of thing. So I remember sitting down and be I even said to the woman before she did it, because she said it was quite a quick injection. I said to her, "No, just so you're aware," because this woman is looked like 4'2" or something, and I'm a lot taller than her. So I was just so in case she I might pass out, kind of thing, because my even though I was sitting down and I wasn't worried about it in particular because I knew it was quite a quick injection. Just my body, just for whatever reason, and I've had tattoos. Tattoos don't affect me that way, but for whatever reason, when I have flu injections or I have blood taken, my body just decides goes, nope, you're just going to become a massive pussy now, and you're just going to pass out. So. And I said to her, I might pass out. It doesn't always happen. Just occasionally, my body just goes, nope, I'm out, and then I'm just gonna faint. So I go really, really sick and then I faint. So that's apparently it's quite a common thing. The nurse says a lot of people have it, but can't be helped. So she did the injection. I was like, oh, okay, I feel all right actually, because it literally was by the time she said I'm about to do it, she'd already done it. It was super quick. So I went and sat in the waiting area. She had to go sit in the waiting area for 15 minutes. So I popped a game up on my phone just while I was waiting for the 15 minutes to go down, and I started feeling really, when you feel in your throat you need to vomit because it's I've got to do it now because it's just going to go everywhere Exorcist style. It was that kind of that soon and that intense. So I was I really don't feel very well. So as people always tell you, when you start feeling sick, put your head between your legs because that will stop you from being sick more often than not because it balances your stomach out. So I was doing that, and the nurse must have noticed that I was starting to go a shade of magnolia all of a sudden. So she was just like, "Do you want to go lie down in there?" I was like, "Oh, this is so embarrassing." I'm 30. For fuck's sake, I'm 6'1". I'm a younger young guy. It's really embarrassing to have to lie down and be "Oh, I'm so," you know what I mean? And they didn't exactly make it they tried to be nice, but in there trying to be helpful made it 10 times worse because they pulled a curtain across, made a massive scene of it. Told me to lie down. This massive guy came in, he was a huge guy. So, and I was, she was like, "Oh, the nurse will be in shortly." I don't know what I was expecting, but this guy just walks in and goes, "Hi," and then just walks in. Goes, I hear that someone needs a fanning. I was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't want to make like a scene, and he's just made it like 10 times worse. Like, he might as well just put like a microphone near me and go, by the way, everybody, I'm a massive pussy. I can't take injections. I just stood on the stage and did it because like it was so obvious. But I was like, oh my God, kill me now. So I literally had to, and their protocol or whatever, what it is, when someone has this like reaction, is you have to stay sitting in the hospital chairs for like half an hour, especially because I was driving there and back, obviously. Apparently they had like the week before, someone had the same reaction. They'd gone home and crashed their car and their insurance didn't cover it. So for like legal reasons, if you have this reaction, you have to stay in that room with them for half an hour until your like blood sugar sorts out. And so even though I was feeling fine after like 5 minutes, I had to sit there for half an hour with this guy who was just fanning me constantly, telling me about his life story, and he was asking me what like, Netflix series I've watched and stuff. And I was just like, just kill me now, just kill me now.
Just give me another injection.
And the weird thing, because of the angle, they had to like lean me back, so my head was facing the floor. So like I wasn't feeling. It would stop me from being sick, basically. And they would give me water and being really overcautious, which is great of them. Obviously, they did a brilliant job. That's what they're there for. But it's just really embarrassing from like my perspective, because I just like, I feel fine now. Can I go? They're like, no, you've got to stay for half an hour. And this guy's like, let me just fan you down, darling. It's okay. You'll be fine. And I'm just like, oh my God. He's like, no, we're going to ease you up now. If you feel faint. Because you felt faint a minute ago, didn't you? So did you patronise your fuck ass? Like, what is this? And he wasn't trying to be patronising, but that's just how my brain was just like, I just need to leave. This is so embarrassing. I need to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I went outside, had a lemon drizzle, and it was fine. But
a lemon drizzle. It's the cure.
I had to get my blood sugar up, and there was like one shop, conveniently placed, mind you, right next to the exit. There's a guy who sells cakes for like £6 a slice. I'm not even shitting you. It was like £5 to £6 a slice. I was like, what is this extortion? I've just really been sick, been fanned for half an hour, and now I'm going to charge £20 for a cake. What's going on?
Secretly paying you for the fanning as well. Like, that's what it is.
It's
like it's coming towards you, and I'm got an exhausted arm. I'm getting half of that money.
It's just got like a taxi meter up on the fucking side of his fanner.
Yeah.
That's £2 there, mate. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that happened. That was fun. And then obviously hay fever has been like a massive thing for me every year. So I finally got medication to sort the problem out, though. I think it's got fexofenone in it. I think it's called. I've probably butchered that, but the doctors refused to give me medication for like years. And even this year, I rang them like 3 times, and it was right ball ache because I rang them and they're like, I need medication. Like I tried Benadryl and all sort of stuff, but you can't take Benadryl for longer than a week because it makes you have blood clots apparently. And it was the only thing that was helping me, because I literally have like swollen eyes, my throat swells up, I itch constantly. It's a right mess. It's horrible.
Your immune system is somewhat of an infant, basically.
Only with pollen though, because like normally I felt like, because I had to have blood tests not too long ago, and my immune system with like general disease, like fighting off general diseases and stuff like colds and stuff, is actually it's like above averagely high. But when it comes to pollen, my body just goes no. So I'm just like, okay. So I tried all sorts of different stuff like Piriton and everything. And just none of it works. It's not strong enough. So they finally gave me these fexofenone, or however you pronounce it, and it's sorted me out. I'm actually humid again, which is great. So one a day, and that sorts me right out. But there was such a ball ache to get hold of. The doctors just don't want to give away medication, apparently, which is kind of ironic. Especially for free, I'm like prescription, because I need give me like 2 months worth, which is brilliant. It's turning out like I might have to just take it every day for the rest of my life. It's looking like, because like even though I don't need to, but just for like making me feel a bit human every day. Because even when it's not like high pollen, I still have this sort of reaction to it a little bit. So I might just keep taking them, because there's no like they don't think there's any like downside to it. Like it doesn't cause blood clots like the bloody Benadryl stuff does. But so yeah, if anyone's a hay fever sufferer, fexofenone, I think it's called. If not, I did put a picture of it in the Discord, I think, which really helps. But the brilliant stuff. Other than that, I kind of been going backwards and forwards with the whole streaming thing. Been doing a bit more YouTube than I usually was, because I go through like dips with stuff with that. Like I mean, that's just the way Twitch is in general, isn't it? And YouTube to a degree. But I think with YouTube at the minute is I'm trying to find like where I'm trying to like what I want to do on it, kind of thing. Like I tried reviews of gaming. I tried like tip videos for games. Which obviously we're doing the podcast on the separate. We did it on my channel, on your channel, but we're doing it on a separate one, obviously now. And then I think I finally found what kind of content I like creating on there, which is nice. Like this last one did really well compared to the last four. The last couple, I don't know if you found this with videos, because I was speaking to someone yesterday and they said this about their content, that the stuff that takes the longest to edit and is the longest form content, like over 10 minutes, just terrible compared to the stuff that takes seconds to make and is like minutes long.
It's because it's digestible.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, right? You take this video I put out yesterday. It literally took me, I think I snapped like 3 or 4 clips on my stream the other night. It took me like 5 minutes to edit it. I threw like a couple of GIFs in, and it's about 1 minute and 50 seconds long, and it's got nearly 60 views, no, like 50 views, nearly I think like 49 views or something within like 3 hours, right? Whereas the last 5 videos that have taken 2 hours to edit and have been like 10 to 12 minutes long haven't even hit 10 viewers, which is kind of crazy.
YouTube's promoting that kind of stuff now because one of my Borderlands introductions, and this was ages ago, promoting that me and Nathan was going to start doing Borderlands on Twitch, and it was just basically me in my Borderlands mask acting like a twat, and then and that only got like roughly 40 from what I last remember. Anyway, the YouTube is now like separated the really short videos in their own separate category. When you search them, it's gone up by nearly 295.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm just like, oh, so I guess in a sense, if you want to, and I've seen loads of things. I've seen things that only last like 6 seconds, 12 seconds, 30 seconds, and like since people were just going, oh, it doesn't take that long, I'll just quickly look at it, and it's basically the thumbnail. If you want to know, if everyone knows about what clickbait is, the thumbnails look really like suggestive because there's some perverts out there. The next thing you know, they're watching this thing and they're just like barely scratches the surface of relevance to the thumbnail, but it doesn't matter. You could put a dislike or a like on it, but it's more about views now because YouTube has took dislikes off.
Have they?
Well, you can actually still see them, but it won't be affected on, like, if you go to YouTube Studio, you won't see the dislike ratio.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've changed it up now because people were, like...
spamming it for just the sake of it kind of thing.
Yeah, but a lot of people have disagreed with YouTube's way of it because that, like, the problem is, like... a lot of people in the controversial world of YouTube, there's a lot of YouTubers that are hated because of things that they've done, and including like abusive pasts with relationships, taking advantage of their audience, grooming, even to the forms of pornography and bestiality, and they're getting away with blind murder. So the way that they've done it is like, oh, if we dislike bomb the thing, it will show that there's something not right. That's not the case, because if that was the case, then that it's Friday, and Friday, that song would never exist on YouTube, like, because that's probably got the biggest dislike ratio in history. Well, one of them anyway. But it's crazy to think about tiny little videos now. It's basically it's trying to rival like TikTok, and that's what it is, because fads go through different ways. First off, it's go for 10 minutes. Now it's making the shortest thing possible, but you'll get something out of it because there's so many view counts. That's a crazy thing.
This is the thing, yeah, because I for the last like month or so, I was trying to keep it close to 10 minutes because that's just not what the algorithm is. And I was like, eventually if you want to get monetized, you have to try and get your videos down to 10 minutes because that's just what you see everyone doing, that does it successfully. But then I was thinking to myself, then why on my short ones doing so much better. I can make like 4 short videos in the time it takes me to make this one, and I'll do 10 times better. I was like, so I just stick to making the short stuff because it's funnier, it's easier to make, it's less stress on me, and it's doing well. So I might just keep doing that. Like that, I think that's where I'm going to go with it. Is just do the short videos and then just add,
do the odd big one every now and again.
Yeah. It's like because it's if they want long form content, they've got this to listen to. I suppose we've got there's our long form, or even longer form of content. I guess I should say. This being like normally 2 hours, just under, which is odd because people like listening to those, but then at the same time they also like the short form content, but they don't really seem to like the in between, which is very.
Yeah, I 100% agree. They will watch something that lasts for 1 minute or last something that's between an hour or 2 hours, but anything in between is a bit like it's. I don't know.
Like half watch it or something. Yeah.
It's like a weird mentality which I don't understand. I personally don't understand it.
Well, it contradicts itself, doesn't it? It's like I'll have the little bit of content now, or I'll watch it for absolutely ages. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, if I want to really watch something long, I want to watch something long, and it's like, well, why don't you watch 2 20-minute videos then?
I don't know.
It's
get it.
Yeah. Speaking of the jabs thing, it was quite funny because you literally unlocked a memory of mine because if you was talking about how embarrassing it was to feel faint. When I was 23, I believe I was 23 at the time.
All them years ago.
Yep. Don't remind me. I came in for an injection. I can't remember what it was for. And but anyway, I was like, oh no, it was just extracting blood. Sorry, they needed to take blood off me. And
I've never heard someone describe a blood test as extracting blood.
I think I got that from Dead Space, but anyway, I digress.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that sounded so like science fiction.
It's very serious.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I came in and I was with my ex at the time, and oh no, it must have been younger. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But she, we both went down, and I wasn't really happy because they needed about like 2 test tube, 2 tubes worth of blood from me. I can't remember why again. So I've been okay with needles, but there was something about this one that like they're taking stuff out of my body rather than putting something in my body, which gave me like this psychological effect in my head.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh no, it'll be fine, because they told me not to eat anything in the last 24 hours or last 12 hours or whatever. So I did do that. But at the same time, like you said previously, sometimes you need that kind of food, and like you need like food to have your energy up because that's an experience. So, but you need to do that to make sure there's no added like complications to examining blood or whatever.
Yeah, it's because if they're trying to check your blood sugar levels, I guess. If you're eating sweets, for instance, it would rise it through the roof when they're trying to check it as its normality. That's what they're getting at, probably.
Yeah, and
so
it's fine. And then so it did the operation, and then literally I was like, oh, this is not so bad. I've had injections before, and then immediately I've seen because I was overthinking it, but. Like you said, sometimes that isn't initially a bad thing, and this was the case because I actually felt, and I'm not even exaggerating, I felt like the warmth of my body was being taken out. Like I actually felt like the warmth being took, like my soul was being putting into this like this jab.
So help me!
And it's just like, gone.
No, it's just looks back at you. You look like someone's just Shang Tsung you. Your soul is mine.
Yeah, it literally felt like that. It felt like that. I can't. The League of is it the League of Gentlemen or something like that? And it's like you're my wife now, Dave. It literally just like
what?
It was a comedy, and then like I just felt like. I felt cold and I felt pale because I've literally she's only took 2 tubs of blood, and I felt like I've literally going to die. Like I felt like a vampire just assaulted me, and like after she's like, "We're all done now. Just put this thing so the blood doesn't come out." And Max at the time was going, "You're right," and I just gone, yeah, I think so. So anyway, I got off the thing, and immediately the nurse and my ex literally saw like something bad's going to happen. I literally took 4 steps before I had to hold onto the banister and just be like, all of my body, every part of my body had pins and needles. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever experienced your entire body being pins and needles. It is literally, you don't know how to function. You try and think of a rational thing to do, but you can't. I had to get dragged by 2 people into another office because they didn't want to see the other patients see me what trauma has happened.
It's bad advertisement, Mike. You're not helping the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Go to your doctors now, kids. They'll drag you
Be
to
like
the next
this
room.
pale sod.
Yeah. So anyway, the nurse came in and she was just like, well, it's more common than you think because obviously you haven't eaten things in the last 12 hours.
When she told you not to.
Yeah, you know, and I was just like, it almost felt like a contradiction. It's just like, you could have pre-warned me, you know, that this might happen.
You're just grabbing a collar. You did this to me, you bitch.
What have you done? So they sat me down in this like really like, it looked like a therapist chair, you know, when you like lie down like thing. Anyway, my ex was sitting next to a store and actually got me a couple of biscuits and a cup of tea to get my sugar levels back up. And I felt fine after like 20 minutes, but literally I was just lying there like a corpse that could only use the eyes to move.
That's what happens to me every time. I had exactly the same experience when I had blood tests. I can I think it's the visual for me of actually seeing your own blood being like taken out. Yeah. Just my head just goes, nope, I'm shutting off, and then instantly have to lie down. But with Norby though, I've had like flu jabs, I've been fine, but that last one just messed me up. So next time I have one in August, I'm just instantly going to ask for a bed and my personal fanner, please. So and get me a glass of water, bitch. But
maybe not the cake. That's £6. Maybe
no. I'll take my own lemon drizzle next time. Thank you very much. Snaps fingers and walks off.
Get Mr. Kipling on the phone.
Fuck it, Mr. Extortionate, more like outside.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But you know the best part of it was that's not my worst experience. The worst experience I had with needles is oh god, this is semi-embarrassing. Oh, I don't know if I could tell this story. No, I can. Basically, one of my friends with benefits ages ago.
Oh yeah.
Called me up randomly out of the blue. I haven't spoken to her in about a year. She goes, "Hi Mike, how's it going?" I was like, "Yeah, how are you going?" We were just chatting. But by the way, the reason I called you is that you might have chlamydia.
Wow.
And I was like, "Excuse me?" And she goes, "Yeah,
good morning."
Yeah, I've been really, really, really pale. I've kept on getting like really sick, and I just wanted to let you know because I found out the person I slept before you had chlamydia, and I think I really have it. So I think you should get checked out, and I'll come with you. I was like, "Oh, thanks." I mean, like,
just drops his toast. What the fuck?
Yeah. So anyway, we've gone out, we've met up, we've had a breakfast together, and we've discussed about it to explain. And I've gone, all right, I don't think I have it. I think you might have something else, but we'll take the test. Anyway, so the first test that we did was absolutely dreadful because we went into Northfield to take this test, and apparently they needed to take my blood. Now, if you want to take a chlamydia test or any sexual transmitted whatever test
disease,
you can literally go to a hospital or your doctors and they take blood for your middle finger and they do it straight away. Not this place. No, because that'll be too fucking easy. And I had an inexperienced nurse, not once, not twice, but 3 times miss her needle.
Yeah.
Miss her needle trying to find my vein. So she practically stabbed me 3 times with this needle and not got anything out of it. And apparently they couldn't actually take blood out of me because they thought I actually had another issue because my veins were so transparent. Basically, they were saying I was a sponge, so they didn't want to essentially take blood from me because they thought it was too risky. I was like, what kind of fucking place is this?
So did you become Mr. Opinionated?
Oh, I went hardcore. I was just like, you literally just stabbed me 3 times and you still not resulted. I've got nothing out of it. It's the 3 puncture wounds because I couldn't find my goddamn vein. So then we went to another hospital. I was blitzed and I said, let's just get this over and done with because I'm sick and tired. And she was still moaning the fact that she's going to die, that, this is going to consume her life forever.
I like how she's possibly got a life-threatening illness, and you're like, oh, she's moaning she's going to fucking die. I got stabbed 3 times.
Yeah.
Carry on.
And then apparently she didn't get hers because she was too nervous for the needles. Like, so why did you take me to a place where it would do needles if you could get the easier option and go to the bloody hospital? Anyway, we went to the hospital. We got this done. They told us the simple procedure, bish, bash, dash, done. A little blood, whatever. I was negative. Thank God. I've never, ever, because I'm careful. And I'm pretty sure we wore a condom as well. So it was like, I don't know how
both of you.
Well, I did. She must have just won on her face because really I wanted to fucking kill her after that day. Anyway, and she was negative too. Despite all of this, despite all the hassle of hours wasted the entire day, she still was convinced that she still had something wrong with her. You know what it was that was wrong with her? Even because she got negative, she said, "I still got it. I still got something. I still and I was like, you haven't because you just got tested negative. What is wrong with you?" I went back to her place to calm her down. Turns out she's been buying dodgy drugs on the internet. That's the reason why she's been feeling sick. Because she was having an episode of being a hypochondriac.
Oh, okay.
That is the reason why she's been feeling sick. And I told her, you're getting these prescriptions because the doctor's denying you and you'll keep getting it from other sources. That's the thing that's making you sick. Oh, no, but they're prescribed. But you don't have a prescription for them. That's your problem. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just having a moment. And then after 3 months, she told me I was right. So I was like, well, yeah, I told you so. Well, I made sure I reminded her every time I saw her. So, yeah, more of the story. Don't go to Nilfield for
just in general. In general, don't go to Nilfield.
Just don't go to Nilfield. Go to a proper hospital. And when it comes to your jab, effects may vary because I know some people that have been bedridden for 2 weeks, and I know that people that have actually, because you mentioned hay fever, I know people that have suffered from the hay fever more from these jabs. Funny enough.
That's strange.
Yeah, some people just don't have any kind of side effect when they have these jabs, and which is it's quite interesting though, isn't it? Like how the body has reacted to this particular.
I heard that someone was saying that the higher your immune system is, you have less symptoms to it if you've got a better immune system, which is odd. You think it'd be the other way around, really?
It's amazing how every person's different on a genetic level as well. Because obviously if you meet a person, you wouldn't know if they had a strong immune system or not, in a general aspect. So it's so weird how things like this even work. It truly amazes me because you could have it and then obviously literally have that thing happen to you and spend 6 days.
Oh, I was like, have you had your injection yet? You've just booked it and you haven't actually had it the first one yet, have you?
Yeah, I've booked mine. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was tired for about probably about 4 days. I was you need to sleep now, even in the middle of the day. I was that tired for 4 days, and my arm obviously ached a little bit, but I wasn't really really ill. I was just extremely tired. But I've known people that have been like had like a cold for like a week or 2 weeks even. It's crazy how it affects people.
Yeah, and like, because I don't suffer from hay fever, lucky me. But like my brother, I don't know if it's because he's ginger, but he gets bad, literally bad, dude. Like honestly, puffy red eyes, watering, runny nose, like even dry mouth, and it's weird. And I only bring up the ginger thing is literally because, and I know this is going to sound really rude, but gingers are basically the albino mice of humans, basically.
Do you mean albino? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I thought it was albino.
Albino is how you say it.
Oh, fair enough. So like, because like they have a lesser immune system, that's why they got paler skin, and that's what their color is. That because they have like a lesser immune system. Like
I know there's like a thing with sunburn, isn't it? They can get sunburnt more and get affected from it more.
Mm-hmm.
With like terms like skin cancer from the sun and stuff. That is definitely a thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't being racist to gingers on purpose, but like yeah.
Fuck.
But it's weird how the bodies of different people work. Yeah.
Anyway, moving away from injections and nice stuff. What's the recent games that you've been enjoying at the minute? Any recent games that you've just like new games that have just come out or you've got back into?
Apart from the one that I refused to talk to on this podcast.
Oh, you just reminded me. I totally forgot. We have to now talk about this for 2 hours. So, story time was simply, do you guys, if you've been following the podcast for quite a while, and bearing in mind the first couple of episodes will be either on Mr. Opinionated's channel or mine. If you go all the way back, I forget which number it is, so I apologise, you'll probably have to check them all. At some point in time, when we were talking about video games, in particularly FPSs, Mr. Opinionated here happened to, as you can probably recognise, would shit on Fortnite. And as you can guess where I'm going with this, yes, he's now a Fortnite streamer. Not only that, has he then gone and bought the Battle Pass for said game? Do you remember one moment in time, I'm pretty sure it was only last year, in fact, that he was like, I'm never going to play that shit. Charging for fucking skins. This is bollocks. It's got no skill. Yeah, we can go on and on with this. But, I mean, do you have a bigger hypocrite stamp you would like to slap on your forehead? Or
Can I just reframe some form of backing here? Like, I will admit, I said all those things. Now
you went in. Okay.
I did. No, I will put my hand up, and like you can, like, call me a hypocrite. That's fine. I'm totally okay with that. However, you have to remember, and I'm pretty sure I said this. If not, then I will say it now. When I first played Fortnite back in day, it was free, obviously still is, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. I played it for a solid 2 weeks, and now remember, this thing has just come out, so it was bare bones to what it is now. And at the time, I think it was a combination that I didn't know what to do, even though I did learn in the 2 weeks, but I just hated the mentality of it, because you could kill someone with a shotgun that was like miles and miles away, which I didn't see the point of that. And then the whole building system is not, and still isn't, properly explained. So you have to go in, and there's still people to this day that are like super builders that do it in seconds and seconds, and you're just like, how the fuck do you do that? The button system, I just can't get over it. So I just thought it was shit. Like, I generally thought it was shit because of that. And like, it was, again, bare bones, and I was like, oh, I understand why it's free now. But anyway, as it's grown by, and I know some people that were just like, oh, just give it another shot, dude. Just give it another shot. And I was like, no, I don't really want to. And then I actually saw something that was slightly appealing to it, because and I was like, oh, there's NPCs in a Battle Royale game. And then I met a new bunch of people that suggested it to me, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot, because you guys are playing it. And I did have a good time. And I did enjoy it. To the point where I bought the Battle Pass, because it was only like £6.50. And just for a laugh. And I have generally enjoyed the game. And I've only streamed it twice. Right? Just to see how it goes. All right? All right?
But But the problem with that is I can now call you a Fortnite streamer.
Label, dude. Don't put me in that label.
You're now a Fortnite streamer.
But like when you say Fortnite streamer, this is the thing, when you say Fortnite streamer, I really feel like I'm
Okay,
some
just pause a sec.
dirty-ass animated
Just pause.
ninja wannabe, and I'm not.
What was the last two games? Your last two streams, what game were they?
Fortnite. And then like the time before that, I believe it was Fall Guys. Was it Fall Guys? Yeah.
I don't know.
But like, yeah. So I'd like to reiterate something. Okay, so I still hold on to the bars that Fortnite back in them days was shit. But now I should have taken another shot before I continued on with that point of view.
Just to when we was talking about this, but all the way back on the other podcast when you was absolutely shitting on it like dog shit. This is back when I was playing it, and it's exactly the same then as it is now. There's just different skins basically, and there's slightly different things going on in the game with the spaceships compared to what was going on then. But the story's slightly different, but the premise is still the same.
Yeah, the premise is still the same, but like, it still has like, you know, it when I played it, it was so much more bare bones. That's what I'm coming across. But now there's so much more on it. It has become appealing, and plus it's free. Like, I mean, and the fact is, it's only like 33 GB in comparison to Call of Duty's Battle Royale, which I personally find boring. Is like 120 GB. Like, it's a no-brainer. Like, you get something for free, or spend on a AAA game that's not even worth a damn, you know?
Did you not recently just buy the Scoot skin?
Yeah, because I earned the V-Bucks for it for the Battle Pass.
How did you get the Battle Pass?
I told you I paid $6.50 for it.
I'm just trying to, because you said it's free, but money.
It's optional. No, that's optional. It's optional. I buy the Battle Pass for Dead by Daylight, and you don't see people fucking trying to rip my throat out on that.
Do you know what that is? It's because you've always played DBD, and your main channel on YouTube was basically a DBD channel for the most part. And plus you didn't massively dump on a game before you played it on stream. Like, when anyone brings Fortnite up before this last month, you did shit on it for it. So it's like you kind of asked me for that.
I had the mentality of the genesis of the game, but yeah, my opinion has changed. So yes, Fortnite is a fun game, and it's fun with friends, and it's just a good time. And I'm really hoping I'm not at that point where I start getting competitive with that game, because my God, with Dead by Daylight at the moment, if anyone's been playing it, I feel sorry for anyone that is playing it on last gen consoles, okay, like Xbox One and PS4. The lag spikes in that game at the moment are unplayable. I've literally had to grind through it bare teeth, just to get these crowns, this 5th anniversary. Literally one of the worst DLCs we ever had. Not because of the content, because of the performance, which is a massive shame, because it's their 5th anniversary. They've got a Resident Evil DLC, and the game is barely playable. It's
which is probably like their biggest DLC to date, right? In terms of
oh god, yeah.
A 100%. Famous game. It's probably one of the most famous games, and it's you think they'd make sure that it'd be working properly, but fuck, man, it's a shame.
It is. It's a massive shame. If you play Kill Your Friends, it's fine, but obviously with the events going out, you're getting more blood points, you get more things like that. And then it's gotten that bad where people are actually protesting. I don't know if you've heard of the whole boycott DBD thing.
No, I don't really follow it that much.
It's basically it's just a movement where everyone's gonna refuse to pay Behaviour any money for skins or DLCs or anything like that. Money, with real life money, for 3 months to protest basically. If it goes through, then fair enough. But it's a massive fan base, and to be fair, I wouldn't think they'd be that worried due to the fact that there's no other game like DVD. So it's one of a kind. They're not going to worry too much about it.
It's quite. I've always been quite impressed with that game. How they've managed. I mean, how long's the game been going for now?
5 years.
The fact that they've been keeping it going for 5 years, and not just keeping it going, keeping it extremely popular, and making the money, when it's literally just one game mode, and it's like I can't think of any other game that has managed to do that for that long and that successful, other than possibly Fortnite. But then again, Fortnite has other stuff involved where they have like the creative side of it that you can go and do, and then they have the campaign. So they have got other aspects, whereas DBD is literally just that, isn't it? It's just that game mode and nothing else, as far as I'm aware.
Well, that's the thing. It's a asymmetrical game, so technically you're getting 2 different games. You're getting the third person co-op, or you're getting the first person killer.
Yeah.
So it's basically 2 game modes in one environment. That's what makes it so intriguing, and that's why funny enough, a lot of people that used to play Dark Souls, which people still do, all those hardcore players that like to challenge, play DVD every day, because obviously that the AI in Dark Souls is really clever and really difficult, as you know. So what's better than going up against either 4 people that are other people behind a controller being like good at what they do, or the other way around, you're surviving against one person that is good with the power and the skill of that a particular killer. It's like there's no other game that does that, and that's the issue. Since they got no competition, unlike Fortnite does, with how many battle royales have been pumped out now, because that's easy to emulate.
Plus, I think the other thing they've got going for them as well is that it's cross-play, and there's not that many good cross-play games out.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
I was saying this to you, wasn't it literally, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I was saying I'm really shocked that when gaming companies design a game that's obviously going to be co-op or online, why they don't just make it cross-play instantly, because you'd make so much more of an audience for yourself by adding cross-play. I know it's extra work, but in the long run, it's probably going to make you more money, because, for instance, in our case, you're PlayStation, I'm Xbox, so if there's a game we both really, really want to play together, we can't.
Yeah,
and it's like DBDs, like DDD and Fortnite are literally the only 2 games other than Minecraft I can think of that you can play together, and like play it quite easily. Like there's not it's not a ball ache to try and send invites or join lobbies or whatever. It's just invite done. It's not log into a Microsoft account, download another bloody profile, do piss around with all that, then the party chat doesn't work properly. Like I think probably the smoothest in terms of that probably is Fortnite in crossplay. I will give Fortnite that. Is that its lobby and its game chat for crossplay is outstanding. It's literally you send the yes, you need an Epic account. I get that, but that's not, most people have one anyway. If you've played other Epic based games, with which there's quite a lot of popular Epic games, so you should have one by this point anyway. And obviously, if you already got Fortnite and playing it yourself, then you'd already have one because you need one. So it's literally just an invite, sorted, join party lobby, done. Turn the in-game chat on and it's sorted. There's no fucking around with other Microsoft accounts or anything. Like it's so easy and smooth, which is one of the reasons I do like it. But I just got very burnt out with that game last season. It got a bit much with the whole Marvel stuff. It was quite nuts. They went a bit too silly with it.
That's the thing. You can enjoy a game for what it is, which I do to that point now, and that's a very good point. And like with all online games, there's a community. There's a community fan base, which can either literally make or break how you play a game. Because honestly, even though I am been enjoying Fortnite, I will stand by it's probably got the worst community fan base I've ever seen in an online. But DVD's no better. Them two, honestly, that in terms of community, in terms of cocky players, cheaters, hackers, bullies, all those things, them two are probably in the top 3, easy. And then Call of Duty probably up there as well. And it's a shame because it's the fact that they get so so good at it, and it's the only game they play, and they have this kind of arrogance, and like it's not even competitive. Like I feel like competitive and being a twat is two different things. I am an arsehole and competitive, but I will not go out of my way to literally belittle someone to the point of destruction. And I feel like Fortnite's even worse in that regard. I've seen so many people cry and bitch, and like
well, it's encourages it as well on Fortnite. That's the problem.
like it does encourage it, yeah.
Yeah, with the dances and stuff at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's just what the game is. But
my friend invited me to a game, and I did not expect one of his teammates to be a literal child. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna see how this goes. I'm not gonna ask him because I don't know if this is a relative. I don't know if this is his friend's child or whatever, or his child or whatever. And I didn't think it was his child. And I could only do 2 games because all he did was scream, complain, say really unnecessarily things, and then I think to myself, listening to that, he was so high pitched, dude. It literally, and I only knew it was a boy because of his name. Anything else, I would have think it was a little girl. And I'm just like, what am I doing in this team? Like, and I'm like, I want to play with my friends, and like one of them was my friend. I've known him for years. He's a great guy, but I'm like, I'm not reducing myself playing with people that I just randomly meet, and then he sent me a friend request. I'm like, no, I'm not playing with like some 6-year-old. What the hell? This is wrong. And I was like, oh, but the things he was saying, like no child should be saying. I'm just like, I need to leave.
That's
so
one thing.
I made some bullshit excuse and just got out of there. I was just like, no, I can't be doing this.
That's
like,
one thing that does shock me with like kids younger age on games nowadays is that they're just the language and stuff they say is ridiculously out of order.
Yeah,
like some of the shit they say. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I've said some bad things during video games, impulsive or frustration. Fair enough. But the difference is, I've been living on this planet for a fair bit.
You're an adult. Like, I'm not being funny. You're an adult. You can say what the fuck you like, as long as it's not, racist, homophobic. All the, the things that society deems unacceptable.
Yeah.
If it's just like general swearing, you're an adult. You're in your own home. Like, who gives a shit? Do you know what I mean?
And we've all made mistakes. We've sometimes said stuff that we deeply regret, and I've done that a couple of times, definitely. But the difference is, you do it throughout the entire match, and even if this kid went down a split second, she was like, help me. I was like, shut the fuck up, man! Like, Jesus Christ. So I will still stand by online communities, especially with Fortnite, Dead by Daylight, Call of Duty. Anything online these days creates such a toxic environment, and this is why I always say to people, take your time and play an offline game or a single player game,
or just not PvP.
Yeah.
Because my 2 main games that I play more than anything else, as you already know, I live on Fallout 76 and I live on more often than not live on Ark. I kind of go backwards and forwards on Ark because Fallout just consumes my life. But both of those, even though there's PvP aspects to them, Fallout has it only if you steal stuff off someone, or if you have to initiate you both have to agree to initiate a fight. So you basically never get PvP on that game. So that's a really cool game. You can just build a house, go out looting, do the missions, do your daily missions and all that. And you can jump in teams and help each other out and stuff. So it's such a chill game. And I love it. The community is brilliant. By the way, one of the best communities I've ever known is Fallout. Like, you start a new character and you come out of the vault straight away, you'll get so many people high level just come and drop you free shit and help you out. And I've done it myself, and it happens so much. It's such a cool thing to see because it just gets people involved and helps them out, and gets them interested in the game straight away if someone's helping them out a little bit. Because if it's a bit confusing and they don't know what to do, and the same with Ark. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been in servers before where people are just utter dickheads in the chat, in the world chat, in Ark. You just can. There's a lot of them out there. But the one we're currently in, because we just recently started playing, I think for about a month now we've been playing it, maybe under a month. We started playing the Genesis 2 map, which is the newest map. It's the last DLC they're adding to the game, like the last update they're ever doing to Ark, because they're focusing on Ark 2 now, which is probably coming out like next year or the year after, whatever. So they literally put it's the best map they've ever done. They've chucked like loads of stuff into it. So we've joined a brand new server for it, and we've got to start it from scratch again. And the people in the server are like so nice. It's such a refreshing thing to see, going from like playing something that's like heavy PvP based, like you said, that's really, really toxic. And then you join Ark, and the people in the chat are just really friendly. They like help you out with stuff. They do trade. They're not just slagging you off or like coming in raiding your house or just being dickheads for no reason. Like, it's such a chilled environment. It's so nice. It's such a nice difference. So like, and even like you said recently, I've played a fair few different single player games that I've just been meaning to go back and catch up on. Like, I'd never played Dishonored 3, and it recently came to the Game Pass because the whole Microsoft buying Bethesda thing. So I've gone back and played like a load of games I'd never finished off, or never started finishing the franchise off, because I played like Dishonored 1 and 2, but I'd never played the third one. And in between that, like, I'd finish off stuff I needed to do on Resi 8. And what else I've been playing recently? There's quite a few. I've been going backwards and forwards a load of different single player games. I've just been playing them for about a week, finishing it and installing it, and it's quite cool that time, because it gives you like a little break. Because sometimes I don't know how you feel, but like some nights I don't want to be in a party with people. I just want to chill.
Yeah.
And like just experience, especially if it's like a good single player game, you just want to kind of experience the story of that. And when you got people like fucking shouting and chatting about whatever they're doing, it's really hard to focus. I can't stand that when you're in a party with like a load of people and you're trying to hear like a cutscene in the game, and it's especially if it's like an important cutscene, like it's telling you where to go or something, and then you just can't hear it because all you can hear is like blah, 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 blah. Oh my god, he's coming left, on your right, and you see like grenades going off and shit, and you're like, oh my god, can I just focus on this, what I'm watching? So a lot of the time, I'll just go into a private party.
Yeah, I don't even like going in parties where people are playing different games, even if they're playing single or an online game. Like, for example, if I'm playing Dead by Daylight, and I won't go into a lobby where they're playing all sorts of different games, because they'll be talking, yelling, laughing, and like, and I feel like on online games, people forget that audio is just as important. Like hearing the footsteps of people coming, hearing the terror radius of a killer, hearing like specific sounds help you on, like, so you can premeditate. How the fuck are you supposed to do that when people are just like this and that and the other, and then people call you antisocial? It's like, no, I want to play this game as efficiently and effectively as possible. It's not one of those games where, well, you can half-ass it if you want, but I'm just not that kind of person. But I'll only be in a lobby if we're all playing the same game. Because
yeah, we did that last night. We was in a party too. There was like 4 of us in a party, and then 3 of us left to just go and join Ark, because even though it's not by any means, you just sit around crafting things and taming dinosaurs. It's not like a fast-paced game at all.
Yeah.
But that's why we like it, because it's just quiet.
Like
you can
Minecraft.
have you can just chill. You know what I mean? It's quite occasionally like we talked about a previous podcast quite a while ago now, how you can just sit in a party with someone. You don't even have to talk half the time, because it's just chill. Yeah. Because you're just both playing the same game. Say you're making something, you're like, oh, can you pass me this? Occasionally you'll talk. It's that kind of vibe. It's like nice chilled out vibe. Whereas the other people playing like a PvP game, so even though they weren't being loud at the moment, I was like, we're just going to leave just because you guys are doing this and we're doing something completely different. So it's just better for like even if it comes down to like trying to immerse yourself in what you're doing in the game, it just makes it 10 times easier when there isn't someone screaming down a microphone.
Exactly.
So I'm a big one for that.
Yeah, like, here's a pro tip: don't feel obliged to always speak. If you're that comfortable around someone to the point where you don't have to share words, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. That's not you being antisocial. It's just you being comfortable.
Oh, that happens a lot in our parties. A lot of the time, for instance, like Jess will say, "Is anyone awake?" Because we'll all be doing something, and then just no one talks for ages, and it's like we're still there. Like, we'll reply obviously, but we're just kind of like lost in what we're doing or whatever. That happens so much. But yeah, I never feel the need to chat really.
Yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, like we exhaust ourselves by talking to each other for 2 hours, so it's fine. So when anyone else comes along, we're like cavemen at that point, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, like I'm normally done after like this, especially because we normally do it obviously later in the day. It's parties are non-existent afterwards. Normally, I'm just knackered. It's quite. People don't seem to realise. I think the last like 2 people we had on, like Nathan and Justin, a lot of people don't seem to realise how difficult it is to talk for like nearly 2 hours without stopping, and then trying to keep it.
I mean, when it comes to us, I mean, we could do this probably for like 4 hours if we.
Oh, we just shut the fuck up. Yeah, this is the problem.
There is no off button here, which can be a benefit and a curse in modern society. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, but the funny part is, you mentioned them two. Them. They both said after how much they enjoyed it, which is great. And the fact they were like, because like, little behind the scenes thing here, but they were like, oh, not too sure, I don't know how to do it. Just go with it, just go with the flow, just be yourselves, be fine. Because I remember, I don't know if this was edited out in Nathan's in the last episode. I don't know if it was in the final cut of the podcast, but he was just like, do we need to edit that part out? And I'm just like, no, it's fine.
Oh no, I left that in. Yeah,
you left it in.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was so cute. It was adorable. But yeah,
thinking we've got more post production than we actually have. Edit it out, please.
Well, I just had more faith in you, I guess. But that's just been daunted. So, what can I say? Yeah. Speaking of like activities that we've been doing rather than gaming, which I do highly suggest, if you need to go outdoors more and stuff, I highly recommend. Even though no one likes the sun, like to my point of view, I know some people love the sun, but
no one likes the sun. What?
You know what I mean? Like it sometimes it gets too hot, and you're just like, ugh.
Oh, recently, yeah, fucking hell, my body's been like, no thanks. Yeah.
So like I highly suggest to someone, even if you don't like have a hobby outside of like work or anything like that, just try and do something outside. Because like I've been coming back, and I don't know if I have mentioned this in my podcast, my crown green bowling, which is not flat green bowling, it's not 10-pin bowling, it's crown green bowling. Okay, just like look it up on the Google. And it's a sport that I've been playing for about, I think, 17 to 18 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I'll tell you now, like, it happens between spring to the start of August, and there's all sorts of different leagues, all sorts of different like championships and stuff. I highly recommend it, because unfortunately it's a dying sport at the moment, but it's not because it's bad, it's because it caters to a certain audience, which I disagree with, which is basically old people, and it should have more young people. So highly, because there's a lot of people that just don't know what it is, and I explained to them, like I think I explained to my moderator Mark what it is. And he was just like, where can I find one of those things, or one of these bowling greens? And I said, the Black Horse? Yeah. You see that green patch outside? Yes. That's a bowling green. And it's like, oh, I've seen people playing that. Yeah. It's like, that's crown green bowling. They usually find them in pubs or like social clubs and stuff like that. Because it was made back in the day. Oh, God, there's a history time I missed out. They were made for the working class as a sport, like after work and stuff. And it got so popular at one point where they made massive leagues, like the Warwick and Worcestershire, which is a Saturday league, Northfield and District, which is a Sunday league, the Super League on Wednesdays, the Heart of England on a Thursday, etc., etc., etc.
Okay, now someone's sponsored.
Yeah. I've been in the business for a long time. What can I say?
He's like, fucking peasant, don't talk to me.
I even won the under 21s championship. It's my name is literally engraved in this cup, which I was quite proud of at the time. And yeah, I've just been doing it, and like, I'm not saying get into bowling. I'm just saying like get into the habit of doing something a bit more outdoorsy now, because we're coming down to the end of this lockdown.
Yay!
Yeah.
Well, we hope.
Yeah.
Because they extended it already again, didn't they? So
yeah.
But
and the worst part is as well, they're also talking about people having a third vaccine.
oh no, they've also suggested that having 6-month boosters as well for the unseeable future, which is kind of crazy.
Jeez Louise.
Because that means Simply's going to be getting a half-year fanning every 6 months.
Hey, at least if you just avoid the lemon drizzle, mate, it's free fanning, you know.
£6 every time. Fucking
Yeah.
extortionate bastards.
It's just like, sorry, I brought my own supplies this time.
So I bought my own drizzle. Here's my fan. Let's do this. Sits in the chair. Fan me, bitch.
This is the problem, though. Even though I love doing my bowls and stuff, I obviously.
Sorry.
What? No, please indulge me in why that.
I thought you said balls.
Oh, fuck's sake. I knew it was going to be something down into immature levels. It's what gets your kicks off. Oh my lord. Anyway, bowls. Like when we go to the pub and have like a drink afterwards, because we usually do, even if it's home or away. Oh god, football terms. Basically, you still have to wear a mask and you still have to do this and stuff. But I tell you now, there's a lot of places lately that have coming too close to the end of it. They're breaking the rules so badly, and you're just like, especially with places you wouldn't think, like a social club. You should be hardballing this, and you're breaking the rules a little.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you think they want to stay open?
yeah. Especially now. I think it's just there's like a lot of people are very impatient, and it's like, which is understandable, but they have such a single-minded selfishness about it, where it's like it's not just you, it's like everyone else, you know. Like, we're all in this ball pit together. Don't make an exception just for you, just because reasons of frustration, you know. Like, and I've seen people even break the rules during the bowling thing, because traditionally now you have to either bump fists or shoulder bump. You can't shake hands, apparently. And we have to wash the jacks. We have to wash our bowls. And like everything has to be cleaned and wiped up and stuff. But like, we went to this one club that couldn't give two fucks, because two of the people that played there don't believe in this COVID stuff.
Don't believe in washing the balls.
You know, when you try and have like an actual civil conversation, and this is the man I decided to co-op with. I miss guest stars.
Oh, fucking hell.
But yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous how like you see it in a different perspective if you do a different hobby or a different workplace or like something like that. And I just love the fact that these two 70-year-olds just still didn't believe that there's this, you know, virus that's killing people around the world. Yet they'll believe in something like in swine flu or bird flu or Asian flu or
all the flus.
Yeah, Spanish flu and stuff like that. But they find it hard to believe this one because reasons.
I think that it's not necessarily that people don't believe in it, even though there is definitely still people that are that stupid that they still don't think, they think it's a propaganda, which, Jesus Christ. But it's more the fact, I think, that because we're only is it 2 weeks away, so hopefully away from the restrictions being lifted in the UK at least, and at this point most people would have had, if not definitely had one injection, if not both already. They're kind of like, well, I'm already vaccinated, so I don't care. Especially because it's nearly you're nearly able to do whatever you want anyway. Fingers crossed. They're probably not going to give a fuck. Plus the fact the football's on and how massive that is at the minute. Most people, especially if they go for a drink. I mean, this is never going to be going well. Is it trying to get drunk people to keep 2 meters and wear a mask? And it's just why the fuck they thought that was a good idea, like to let like the football events and stuff open fully until everybody had been vaccinated. And there's certain things I think they just handled really poorly when it comes to like restrict. I mean, for instance, why are they still allowing people to go abroad when we still haven't fully vaccinated everyone in this country? It's so stupid. I don't get it. Like, it's so dumb.
And I think that's just down to financial shit, dude. I really do. It's gone to that point where we have to have some leniency. We have to have some, money coming out and in and the stuff like that.
Look, I get that, but I mean, in a way, they've already kind of sorted that out a little bit by raising the price of food extortionately, raising everyone's taxes and rent by a fucking stupid amount. I don't know if your rent's gone up, but mine certainly has quite a bit, and taxes of food and everything else has gone through the roof. Petrol's gone really expensive, but that's how they're already making money back. And then, we wouldn't have had this fucking Indian variant of the virus, would we, if they hadn't allowed travel back into the country, which caused us to have to delay releasing the restrictions because of that Indian variant that we got, which is causing us to then probably need another injection and then probably have to have boosters every 6 months for the God knows when for the future. Like, if they'd have just done it properly, and I get it, they'd never had something like this to deal with before. I probably wouldn't have done a better job if I was the Prime Minister. Like, I totally get it. It's difficult, but there's just some
people
things
do shit on Boris Johnson. It's just
you've got to give the guy. You have got to give the guy some credit. Like, he handled it probably the best within his ability. I get it. I mean, he supposedly even got the virus himself and then dealt with it that way, and then still run the country. So, okay, fair enough. But there is some things like it's been this Indian variant was only fairly recently, and he'd already been dealing with the virus for over a year. So he really should have been like, hey, maybe let's not fucking allow international travel. Like. Really stupid.
And then, like, you had I think it was the health secretary. Not only.
Oh yeah, shit! He cheated on his wife, didn't he?
Yeah, and like in the fucking in the House of Parliament, and snugs, and then, but I love how him having an affair was secondary to the fact.
2 meters. Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah,
he's broken the rules and stuff. Yeah, that's fine and everything.
Not the fact that the guy running the health of the country has broken his own fucking rule. No, it's because he's cheated, which I get is bad, but maybe talk about the virus that's been murdering millions of people and how he's not following the rules when he's the one giving the rules. It's like,
because he immediately resigned. But I just like. Now that he's done that, there was no apology about having an affair. He's just talking about that. I'm just like, do you want to mention about now that you've just cleared that out of the way, which is fair enough, maybe apologise to your fucking wife,
He gets home, she's like, so I hear you have something to say. Because yes, I didn't keep 2 meters. I washed my hands. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I tongued her, but at least I washed my hands afterwards. There's that.
That just made me like. When I first saw that, I didn't know what to. It's like it's like, well, that is just a double sword in the face.
It just shows you that is the perfect example that humans just will be selfish humans.
Yeah, humans will be humans. There is
no matter what level of higher up in Parliament you are, how high even the fucking Queen is going to fart. It just shows you that no one is perfect. And no one is, and everyone is always going to go with their own wants and needs before anyone else. People are just so fucking selfish.
Yeah, for example, another example when Prince Philip died. How many people I saw on Facebook, literally mention his death very briefly, but then just shit on the royal family, afterwards, he's dead, but. He didn't deserve to be a royal. It's just like, well, okay. Well, clearly you don't actually care about another human being dying. I know people die all the time, which is fair enough. But at the end of the day, a lot of people don't realise, and I'm not a royal person whatsoever. I couldn't give two shits. But what I'm saying is that all roles have done something, and Philip did do a few things. Not to as notable as what Diana or even Charles or Harry, because that they went to the war, and like even after they finished their services, they were an ambulance crew for overseas, like it's like people in boats and stuff, like in the water. Basically, they would go into like a helicopter ambulance, and they would be paramedics. We have full respect to them, But the fact is that people shit on the royals because of all these conspiracy theories or like all these bad history, and it's just like like you do realize people are human, right? The Queen's probably done some dodgy shit, but just because it hasn't been exploited or been seen, or it doesn't mean you can exempt. Like when people shit on Harry, like going to Canada with his missus, and they blame her, and they even blamed her race being mixed race or whatever. And just like, what are you on? He's not the king. No one gives a shit. Leave the ginger alone. If he wants to fuck off to Canada, let him fuck off to Canada.
Yeah, it's his life, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
he doesn't go because it's on your standards and your way of using the royal family.
It's like people seem to think they got like own, and this works with like celebrities as well, doesn't it? Or just well-known public figures. People just think they kind of like they own that person's life decisions almost, which is really weird.
Mm-hmm. And it's like we look up to you, and we expect better performances and stuff like that. But I love the fact, and then when like for example, I don't know, Chris Brown. This is on the top of my head. When he beat the shit out of Rihanna, and no one blinked an eyelid. No one was just like really on that woman beat and stuff. He got some shit, but nothing in comparison to some tiny little inconsistencies to other people. I find that hilarious. It's just like double standards, dude, is so bad when it comes to famous people. It's almost laughable how it shows not only how dumb famous people are or celebrities are or royal people. It shows how dumb the public is, the commoners, the whatever, like the people, and like it just shows how dumb it is in certain perspectives. Speaking of that, let's talk about football quickly.
Do we have to?
just for a brief pause, because we're talking about relevant stuff and we're having a catch up.
Yeah.
Actually, in the comments section, if you guys do write in the comment section, write if you like football or not, or would you just rather not give a crap? We're not going to judge, because to be fair, I don't like football. I've been watching the internationals because I do like watching the World Cup, and not even just England, just out of just curiosity, like background noise. But I do love how, as a country, we are united in a sense.
Yeah.
But you're always going to have those people that take it too far. Oh, God. Oh, it actually pains the soul to know some of these people. But I feel like international is nowhere near as bad as like club, like Premiership stuff. That's just dreadful. That is just it. If you're that committed, my favorite one is someone's passionate about a certain team, like Chelsea or Arsenal, but they don't live in London. Like, you support Manchester United, yet you live in Birmingham. It's like, so you're a glory.
Yeah. You're gonna get some hate for that going,
Yeah, I don't go shit, dude. It's just like, that is just glory hugger. It's like, dude, like I like my favorite one ages ago. It's like, so why do you support Newcastle even though you live here? Oh, it's because my great something used to live in Manchester. Their great something cousin lived in Manchester, in Newcastle. So it's like 3 generations, and ever since then, like they moved to Birmingham. So it's like, so that's the only reason why you're supporting Newcastle. And at the time, Newcastle was actually a good team.
I just find it funny how a lot of people who don't support football, as soon as there's a thing like this on, there's like a big nation thing, they're instantly a massive football fan and an England supporter, and it's like, what?
No,
I don't get. I quite frankly do not give a fuck who wins or loses. I've not watched any of it. I don't care about football. I never have. It just doesn't interest me. In fact, some of the stuff they've done on the radio for it has been hilarious. I don't know if you've listened to Radio 1 recently.
No.
But I mentioned this in the Discord. They said they rang a German hotel receptionist, and you know when you're booking in, you have to give your last name and your first name. He worded it so he got her to say out loud on the radio, "It's coming home," and then just hung up on her on live on the radio, which was brilliant. It's fucking.
Oh my god.
that shit. He got her to shout, "It's coming home," and then just left. So, that was brilliant. That sort of stuff I find funny. But other than that, I don't care. But people like take it massively seriously, and it's a site.
I can understand why some of them, especially internationals, I can 100% understand why international, because it's your country, right? And whatever. It's like when people get excited for Eurovision. Like, even though like England will never win.
I don't get that either, though. I never liked Eurovision either. I'm not a fan of that.
But that's the thing. It represents a definition. Even though I don't choose to watch Eurovision. Sometimes it's on in the background. Like again, after bowling, the shit is on, so I kind of just like semi-watch it, and I don't mind it. And I'd rather watch internationals than Premiership shite. But like it's the thing is, like, I can understand you're passionate, but when you go to a point where you vandalize, destroy, even harm other people, because you don't identify them as English, and I put quote unquote marks there, it just shows how much of a reason why people hate our country. Like, a lot of people do not like England, like so many. I mean, like, I think people like Germany more, and like that's saying something considering about the last 2 world wars. You know what I mean? And for the record, I know it's not Germany's fault. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that think it's Germany's problem. It's not Germany's problem. It's just the people that were running Germany at the time. I just want to make that statement. German people are lovely. I can't stress that enough because some people are so naive. But yeah, and like, and people wonder, like, what do we do? I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that you're bold, drinking Carling, and like have a Rottweiler without a tail going around, thinking you're the fucking toughest piece of shit around, but secretly you're just a tosser. Maybe it's because of that. I don't know. Like,
have you been out drinking, in terms of what we're talking about, going out and stuff? Have you been out drinking recently since we've been allowed to go to pubs and stuff? I haven't been out anywhere yet, so.
Yes, I have a lot, due to like family meals and again the bowling. So how it goes, it depends where you go. Some places are quite lenient. You'll get table service and you get what you want. You pay by card, pay by cash, whatever. You can buy. Sometimes you can buy individually, or if you're a table, someone has to get everything. Sometimes they cannot serve you unless you have the app, which I find is completely unacceptable, because there's some people that can't afford phones that have that app. It's not a simple 1, 2, 3 for some people. Some people have to use a pen and paper to sign into places. So the fact that if they've got pubs, for example, the Bristol Pear in Surrey Oak,
calling shots out. Oh,
yeah, garbage pub now. It's garbage pub. I only go there because when I meet mates, so Bear and Staff's much better. Shout out to Bear and Staff. But yeah, Bristol Pear. If you can't do app, you won't get served. To the point where someone got me a drink. He got his drink. He ordered 2. Didn't get my drink. I waited 25 minutes for mine, to the point where I actually got up and I went straight to the bartender and I said, I ordered something 25 minutes ago. My friend just got it. I haven't. I've been waiting for an extra 5 minutes for it. Can I please have it? And I was just looked on the thing and it's just like, he's only ordered 1. I said he ordered 2. I have at least 4 other witnesses that can testify to this. And literally,
testify.
And literally, I know it was not her fault, but all night they've been very incompetent, and there wasn't even that many people in there. to the point where she just literally poured it. I said, "Thank you very much," and I left. And I wasn't even being an asshole. I've put more emphasis on my voice just for the emphasis of it.
Yeah.
But my frustration, dude, I was holding back so badly, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, if you want to get a drink, don't go to don't go to Bristol Parrot shit. But then you got other lenient places that literally have, and I've been loving the table service, dude. I don't have to get my ass off to the bar, so it's great. Yeah, there's slight restrictions with how many people can sit. I think it's minimum is 6, so it's 6 to a table, no more, no less. You can't stand for a long period of time. Everyone has to sit down. When you do move to location, if it's a long walk, have the distance to put your mask on. Some people are less. Some places are less lenient on that rule, but and to the point where some people even exceed 8. But the standing thing is a no-go. They will cut your bullshit, because the thing is, pubs lose money every time a rule's been broken in a specific time. I know a pub that lost about $3,000 just because a couple of people were breaking the rules. They lost $3,000.
How did they lose? What, like through fines or something?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Every now and again, you might even get police officers roaming around every so often just to check that the rules are not broken. I guess other than that, it's been a bit more lenient. And obviously there's like these little standing things where you put the shit on your hands and then you do a sign-in stuff, or you do the scanny.
Do you know what I'm really shocked by is that they don't. I thought this whole pandemic thing would stop us using cash in general. I know that's like a massive thing to think, but you think about how dirty, one of the most dirtiest things to ever touch is money, because of how it's been everywhere, isn't it?
And especially in your pockets as well.
Yeah, you can find traces of like human feces and stuff on money, like if you really scan it and stuff, like because it's of where it's all been. So I'm really shocked that they're still using money. In like, and some shops I go into, they refuse cash, which I'm actually happy with, because I never use cash because I just think it's disgusting to touch half the time, unless it's brand new coming out of a machine, and even then, someone's had to put it in the fucking thing. But with the whole COVID thing, I really thought like they would have just banned using cash and just moved forward to using contactless. But I guess probably because of the reasons like you stated, how some people don't have the phone for it. But then again, most people have a bank card, so I don't know.
I mean, I've been using more card than I've been using cash. To be fair, the only reason I use cash is so I can get change from my electric meter, usually, or paying my subs when playing bowling. So usually the only time I use cash, because I have to on that, because there's no other way to pay my electricity to do shit. But yeah. That's a good concept you bring up, actually, because especially like when people come over, I know some people are trying to do the ha's. I'm not shitting on the bartenders here, but you'd think like after someone's left, they would clean the services. And
they're meant to, aren't they? Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, some of them don't, dude. Some of them do not whatsoever, and like now the audacity to sometimes tell you to make sure you stop moving. I've only experienced this once, by the way, so not shit. And I think it was just a bad day for this person. Me and my mate took our masks off, literally took 4 more steps just to go into the smoking area. Says, excuse me, you have to immediately stop before you take off your mask, thank you. And we both looked at her like, you have not had sex in years. Literally, I said that semi out loud. The worst part is, I found out she didn't even fucking work there, mate. That was even more hilarious. I just assumed she worked there.
Jesus Christ!
And I was just like, "Are you? Oh my god, the cobwebs must be immaculate." But yeah, it's crazy though. I understand the rules and regulations to some degree, and some of them do it really well. Like I said, the aforementioned parent staff, even though the people that go to the bonus staff are very questionable human beings. Some of them are great, but like, and then you get the really proper ones that literally are so, don't laugh at this, are so anal about it that it becomes
Trying so hard.
that it's unbearable. It's like you just don't want to go there. It's like, I want to go to somewhere else. Like, it's and they'll go, well, with this whole like blah blah blah. If you're gonna have restrictions, that's fine, but do not force customers to use an app, otherwise they can't be served. That is beyond unacceptable. I find that is, it's nothing wrong with
you can
table
still
service.
scan your card, can't you? I suppose. I don't know why they force you to use the app. That's kind of silly.
Yeah, not only that, no one was allowed to pay separately. Someone actually had to buy all the, like, they could order only one person at a time, so they couldn't do multiple trips because that would be too difficult, apparently. Even though other pubs have done it, Bristol Fair again, don't go there. They're shit.
That just sounds like the waitress or whoever is being really lazy.
You think that, but no. All the other bartenders were doing the same thing. If one person, it had to be an individual. Otherwise, if someone had to get around, it was actually pathetic, in my opinion. Like, if you think that's the right thing to do, then there's something fucking wrong with you. I personally think. But yeah, you can laugh about anal if you want now. Yeah. There we go. Get it out of your system. It means another thing, okay? It doesn't mean.
I know. But wow. Okay. Shit. Oh God.
Have you had anything more predominantly going on in your life during this transition since we've last talked?
I'm trying to think. Not really. Not particularly. No. I've been failing my diet. I did start a sort of a different diet to my exercising, which I've been trying to stick to, but Jesus Christ, is it hard? So I've gone from having, because I wasn't happy with like the weight that I'm losing, and then I took like a week off, and my diet just went shit again. So I sorted my diet back out again with like no sugar and everything else. But I'm trying to stick to like one meal a day now, but it's really hard. It's really, really hard to stick to one meal a day. Apparently, after like a week, if you do it for like a couple of weeks straight, you do get used to it, and you become less hungry, and it's one of the best ways to lose weight, apparently, like, but without even having to exercise, because obviously you're taking in less calories than what you normally would in a day. So naturally, you're just going to lose weight because your body's going to use what you've got on you. It's just naturally what's going to happen. But it's so hard. Like, I did it for 3 days this week, and then yesterday I failed because I was starving. Like, I got to it was just so hard not to. I just really, really needed chocolate in my mouth. You get like the urge for like something sweet or something, or whatever the flavour is. I was just so like, I need a Lion bar in my mouth. So I ate one of those. But yeah, no, it's. I think my problem is, I need to get to a gym, because I remember like a few years ago before I had my daughter, when I was like more fitter than I am now, I was going to the gym like every night, and because it's somewhere I had to go, I was like sticking to it because it's like a place you go to. Whereas I think with the problem with home workouts, even though I've been doing them and I've lost weight and I feel healthier, and I've sorted my diet out a bit better, which I'm happy about, because I'm not like getting acid. Because I used to like suffer from like acid burn. Like, I don't know if you've ever gone to bed and you have like really bad acid burn in your throat, and it stops you from sleeping, or you get like indigestion pain, or you just lots of headaches. Your diet just fucks you up in loads of different ways you don't realise.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're like feeling tired, or your joints ache, there's loads of fucking things it affects.
Because your body's adapting.
Yeah, and like the difference I noticed, literally just in 1 week, from not eating like bread or pasta for a week, is crazy. Cutting gluten out, I felt so much healthier. It was mental. So like in that aspect. And sticking to that, look, I've had bread and pasta like occasionally, like maybe once a week or whatever, like or once every 2 weeks occasionally. But I don't have it like all the time. I used to have like a lot of it. So cutting that all out, that aspect of it has been really great. I've stuck to that, but it's more of the actual workouts I'm struggling to keep going, just because of like finding time in the day to do it, and like get into the routine again, because I was getting into a good routine with it, but I've just kind of dipped a little bit with it. So I think if I can try and sort out, because there's a gym right next to me, so if I can sort out trying to go in there in the day and actually go to the place and do it then, and even possibly try and get like a personal trainer, I think I'll be a lot better, because that's my main thing at the minute. I just want to get like as fit as possible, obviously, because everything's going on with like coronavirus and everything else. I want to just try and make sure that physically, I'm just as fit as I can be. Do you know what I mean? Just for like a health reason. So, and I feel like I'm not doing as well as I could, because I feel like, well, for one, I need to be lifting heavier weights and doing different exercises. I just can't do it at home because I don't have the equipment, and I don't have the money to buy the equipment. So I might as well just go to a gym rather than spend hundreds on equipment that's going to sit there. Because I know what I do. I'll buy like a weights machine, and I'll just never use it. You know, and it'll just sit there. Because if there's a pull-up bar next to an Xbox, I'm sorry, like it's not going to happen. I'm going to be sat on Fallout 76 looting for bloody caps every time. But because I have an addiction to that game, it's a problem.
You said exercising your brain, though. I always find like a lot of people go, "Oh, I don't know if you ever heard of like." That's not really much of a hobby, you know. Getting like sitting down playing video games all day, and then you just like, well, I'd rather sit down and watch play video games all day than sitting down and watching TV all day. You know, it's just like, at least with like video games, like you're constantly active. Your brain, you know, your reflex skills actually get improved by playing video games, which is a fun fact, because. And this is actually true, when the soldiers in Iraq ages ago were not doing anything, like their days off, or obviously in certain conditions they couldn't do anything in terms of outside combat or whatever, they would actually play, funny enough, Call of Duty to enhance their reflex skills, so they weren't getting dull. That's actually true. That's actually what happened. They actually got a whole bunch of these consoles, and they played just to keep on their reflexes. And they even stated they did do a test run, and it actually not only did that, but improved morale.
It's very sociable as well, gaming. People don't seem to realise that. Like, people think because you're sitting at home, but like, I speak to all of my friends every single day. And if I didn't have an Xbox, I probably wouldn't speak to them for months at a time, because the friends that don't play games, I barely speak to, because I'm terrible at keeping in contact with people. So, you know, especially with like
the choir on that one.
Especially with like starting Twitch like a few years ago, that's also helped me be a lot more sociable, because obviously we've made a Discord and all the rest of it, right? So that aspect of it as well, like I just speak to loads of people during the day, but I wouldn't otherwise wouldn't speak to. So, and people don't seem to see that a lot of the time until you actually like show them, like, look, here's 50 people that I spoke to today about just general stuff, like what food I've eaten and stuff. But you've still had like conversations, and then on a night, you know, like my mum would be like, she says, "Do you not get bored?" It's like, well, no, because I'm talking to like 5 of my best friends all the time. So it's like, you know, I'm even if it's just like you said in the party, just chatting about what they've been doing in the day, even if it's really mundane stuff, you're still having a conversation with like someone else that's your age. So you're still having like an interaction with someone. So you're still stimulating yourself. It's, you know, especially at the minute because we can't go out as much. So it's one of them.
I mean, you could argue the fact that like playing games is like, you could compare that to a sport to a certain degree.
It's technically classed as a sport now. Yeah. It's like it's an e-sport now. So I think it's widely more accepted now, though, isn't it, than it used to be in terms of every aspect of it. Be it like is a social game or an actual sport, or some games take intelligence to actually finish, or there's skill involved in it. All of that sort of stuff is a lot more widely accepted than it used to be, like 5 years ago, I think. But it's cool to see. Like, it's not, before you used to tell someone that you was a gamer and you'd be like, oh, you're just a fucking nerd. Now, more often than not, you'll speak to someone that also already have like a PC or a PlayStation or Xbox themselves.
Oh yeah, because it's become the common norm now. Like, you used to get beat up just because like you knew what you were doing on a computer, because like, nerd, you're a geek, yeah, and then you got the jockey kind of mentality. You look at that now, they have no, and then you see them, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, do you have a phone? Yeah, then you must be a nerd then, because that's technically a computer. Now, like, you know, it's dumb. And then the minority did down. Yeah, but you played League of Legends, and Warcraft, so that makes you a bigger nerd. I play gun games and with the guns and the shooting and the battle royale and do not, my man.
That was so very close. So very close. It's the voice. It was the voice you was. I'm very intrigued where that voice came from. But anyway,
I actually got deeply complimented about a week ago about my different voices. And a few people have gone, have you considered doing like voices for like, you know, like stuff? Oh, actually
that's weird.
Yeah, I know. Someone offered me, like, someone asked me to like consider it, and I did consider it for a long time. But yeah, if anyone's watching this and knows any people that would like to have voice actors in their whatevers, then let me know.
I'd like to do voice acting. That'd be cool for like a video game or something.
It's like a lot of people think I do Cleveland Brown quite well, you know, because I do it like this, and then everyone thinks it's all complicated. It's like, he's playing the word black man from Family Guy. And it's just like, it's not that difficult to me, but I appreciate the fact that you're complimenting me. So, you know, it's like, I can do that on and off, but then there's like other people that like, you're right.
It's just, oh God, it's just sometimes these conversations, they just go left field, don't they?
Mate, to be fair, I think I'm growing on you a little bit when it comes to these podcasts when I go completely left field, because you've done it yourself.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying I don't. I totally, I acknowledge that. It'd be massively hypocritical of me to say that I didn't. It's like if I turn around and said, oh, Fortnite's so shit, and then if I can buy the battle pass, start streaming it.
And the circle is complete. Don't even let me have one, Quickie. You couldn't let me have one. No. This is the big hypocrisy. No.
Oh, shit.
Simply going left field for a little bit. Oh my God.
Oh, right back where we were.
Snap back to reality. Up the goes gravity. Okay, so.
Oh, please do not start singing. No one needs to hear that.
Mom spaghetti.
Fuck.
Oh my God. I'll tell you, the one thing I have enjoyed mostly is we actually have a slight back catalogue of people that want to join us.
Where the fuck have they been? They've been waiting a month for guests.
Yeah, but this is the thing. It's timing, obviously, with your responsibilities and my schedules as well. It's just been impossible, and I will use that word.
If you want to be a guest on the next episode or future episodes, comment down below when you're free.
Yes,
we're trying to arrange it. I've been trying to get guests on. So there's Mike now for the last month. That's why we've not had a podcast in the last month, because we were trying to do guests, but people either have, like Mike's just explained, the time differences and everything is very different. It's very difficult to link up. But just let us know, like a day, or even if it's literally like in the next couple of days. If you say in 2 days, I can do it in 2 days.
Yeah,
we'll try and sort it out. Just let us know down below.
So for future reference as well, to anyone listening, we will be doing just us two. For the guest episodes will happen every now and again. Even though
yeah, obviously, if we can do them as frequently as we can, obviously we'll try and do that. But like we've just explained, it's a bit more difficult. Because when we initially started doing the first one, which was obviously Miss Jess, I had like 5 to 6 people saying that they wanted to do it, and they even gave me days and times when they could do it, and I was basically booking them in, so that the next like 6 episodes we would have had guests already planned. But then obviously the restrictions got loosened on COVID, so people have gone back to work full time, and obviously just life stuff. So it is what it is. But yeah, if you're available, let us know. Basically,
yeah, and then like obviously we can talk about certain topics. So just to let you know, for anyone, the next, probably one of the next guests will be talking about a certain thing that they want to talk about. I can reveal it, but it's nice that it's going to be a semi-serious discussion, I can imagine, with the topic that we're going to be talking about. And yeah, there's just been so many people that have like come out and just like some people have been really like enthusiastic. Some people have been wanting to but are unsure. But feel free to, like, if you have any questions about podcast stuff, feel free to ask us, because we've been doing it for a little bit now, and we've been totally
We're basically big deals now. So,
and we'll be getting fucking bitches and mansions in no time.
oh yeah, just swimming in it. Yeah. The mansions, obviously, not the bitches.
Yeah.
It's a lonely life. I cry myself to sleep most nights, but.
It's a simply life for us.
Lying in my bed, hugging my Mars bar, crying about it. But anyway, we moved past that. Lion bar, Mars bar, any chocolate, mate. I'm a chocolate fiend. It's just a problem. Just give me sugar. No, like
Jesus Christ.
1 month of just protein and no bread or sugar is really driving me a bit insane. And being locked inside. But anyway, we digress. We're coming to the end of this, so I've said the usual spiel. All the links are in the description. Go follow us on Twitch if you want to catch us live for discussions on Mike's games, on his DVDs and Dirty Fortnite streams, and his Fall Guys streams, and any other streams that he does. Fortnite streamer live. I'm also currently doing Amnesia, which is now my favourite thing at the minute. So we're doing that Tuesday, Wednesday, Fridays. When have you got particular days you're doing it, or is it still whenever you feel like? Have you got
just to let you guys know, the Borderlands streams have been put on hold due to Nathan's
becoming a daddy.
Yeah, becoming a daddy for number 2. So I will replace that with something else. I don't know yet. Sundays, I'm doing Minecraft challenges. We're hunting down the Wither with my team of people. I will probably be doing Dead by Daylight when it's actually acceptable to actually play Dead by Daylight on a stream. I mean, I am playing it, but I refuse to stream it due to the fact of its conditions.
Like a piece of shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very bad. I might do another Fortnite stream at some point. Maybe.
Filth. Anyway, yeah.
And finally, obviously, the usual Fall Guys every now and again. So yeah.
Yeah, and then also all of our other socials, Instagram, Facebook, all that sort of stuff will be down below. Go drop us a follow. We'd love to. The Discords of both of our Discords will also be down below. Come say hello. We'd love to chat with you, all that good stuff. And that's been it, I think.
Yes,
because I've got to go. So we'll see you guys next time. So I've been Simply.
And I've been Opinionated.
And we will see you next time.
Toodles.